Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. I am Hari.
And I'm Kimmy. Today we are taking you on a journey to one of the most remote and enigmatic geological wonders in North America. We're talking about the Silverthrone Caldera.
That's right. If you're looking for a weekend getaway, cross this off your list unless you have a charter helicopter. Situated in British Columbia's Coast Mountains, Silverthrone is incredibly isolated.
Accessibility is practically non-existent. Your options are a chopper ride from Campbell River or Tatlayoko Lake, or an incredibly grueling trek on foot through densely forested, icy intermontane valleys that are notoriously hard to navigate.
I'll stick to the helicopter. Once there, the scale is mind-blowing. The caldera is 25 by 20 kilometers. That's a massive subsidence structure formed when a magma chamber partially empties and the land collapses.
Exactly. We're talking about massive Plinian eruptions here, sending ash columns straight into the stratosphere and generating catastrophic pyroclastic flows. These caldera-forming events are far larger and more destructive than the famous 1980 eruption of Mount Saint Helens. It truly is a sleeping giant that shaped the region profoundly.
Its mystery fascinates me. Geological studies began in the 1960s with Jack Souther, but because of its rugged topography and the massive Haled-Sag ice field covering higher elevations, its eruptive history remains poorly known.
We know it had 3 volcanic stages. The first began 750,000 years ago, depositing a thick basal breccia. Around 400,000 years ago, lava domes and flows emerged, reaching 900 meters thick.
The third stage is fascinating. It happened during the current Holocene epoch. Radiocarbon dating of barnacles buried by a lava flow in the Macmel River Valley shows eruptions occurred less than 13,000 years ago.
Evidence suggests some basaltic andesite flows might be less than 1,000 years old. Yet, its tectonic affinity is a puzzle. It sits awkwardly 190 kilometers off the Garibaldi volcanic belt's main trend.
A rebellious volcano. It sits inboard of the Explorer Plate, which separated from the Juan de Fuca Plate 4 million years ago. Beyond geology, its human history is genuinely fascinating.
Long before modern geologists, the Tsawwate'enuke First Nation utilized it as an important resource hub. In 2013, researchers confirmed Silverthrone was the source of Kingcomb obsidian, an invaluable material used for crafting specialized tools during the pre-contact era.
This volcanic glass was highly valued. Artifacts made from Kingcomb obsidian found in the Sunshine Coast show it was part of an extensive trading network 5,000 to 2,000 years ago.
Interestingly, it wasn't the highest quality. It contains large crystals called phenocrysts, making the glass trickier to shape. It didn't trade as widely as other sources, but remained important in Kwakwaka'wakw territory.
Fast forward to the 1990s, as Kingcomb Glacier retreated, explorers discovered a mineralized dacitic breccia pipe. This hydrothermal vent contained multicolored clay, opal, and minerals like malachite with vibrant blue and green hues. A prospector's report even listed copper and various unique gemstones as potential commodities within the pipe.
Visually stunning. Part of the caldera falls within the Caddo Creek Conservancy, established in 1973 to protect colorful geomorphological features known as the paint pots.
I love that name. As beautiful as the landscape is, we should touch on the darker side of its history, specifically how some peaks got their names.
It's a deeply respectful aspect. Several mountains are named for Canadian servicemen who lost their lives in World War II. Mount Samolenko honors Nicholas Samolenko, an airman whose plane was shot down in 1944.
Mounts Overil, Kinch, Squire, Ardern, and Cally also stand as towering memorials to fallen soldiers. It gives profound gravity to the landscape. Silverthrone Mountain itself reaches at least 2,860 meters.
Majestic, but potentially hazardous. A 2024 review assessed Silverthrone as a moderate threat volcano. It scores highly for primary volcanic hazards like explosivity, but its overall threat level is lowered purely because it is so remote and nobody lives near it. The exposure score is practically 0.
Right. The danger isn't lava wiping out a town, it's the threat to air traffic. Explosive eruptions could severely reduce visibility and cause engine failure. Also, melting snow and ice could trigger devastating lahars.
And we know it's not entirely dormant. Small, shallow earthquakes have been recorded near the volcano since 1980. While they haven't been definitively proven to be magmatic, their presence suggests the caldera is still potentially active.
What's concerning is it isn't closely monitored. The Canadian National Seismograph Network is too far away to give accurate readings beneath the caldera. We might only get a warning once unrest becomes severe.
Let's hope it stays quiet. On a more positive note, they studied Silverthrone in the 1970s for geothermal energy potential. Given the massive volume of siliceous rocks, they estimated its power potential at an enormous 2,000 megawatts.
The problem is infrastructure. It's over 150 kilometers from the nearest transmission line. Jack Souther suggested it could power local coastal industries, but building a submarine cable and navigating that rugged terrain makes it highly unfeasible right now.
For now, it remains a wild, largely untouched frontier, an ancient, icy giant hiding explosive secrets and centuries of history beneath its massive glaciers. Until more detailed fieldwork can be safely conducted, Silverthrone will continue to hold on to its geological mysteries, challenging anyone brave enough to study it.
A perfect summary, Kimmy. That's all the time we have for today's deep dive into the isolated and awe-inspiring Silverthrone Caldera. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey.
We sincerely hope you enjoyed learning about this hidden Canadian gem. Be sure to tune in next time for more amazing geological discoveries. Take care, everyone, and always keep exploring the wonderful world around us.
This episode is based on the Wikipedia article Silverthrone Caldera, which is available under the Creative Commons Attribution Share-alike license. This podcast was crafted using artificial intelligence.